Go jerk off in BitBoy's stream, homie. Kick fucking rocks. Gosh, man. Can't fix stupid, man. Can't even help teach stupid, I guess. Fuck. I'm gonna sit here in this stream and I'm gonna argue about you. I'm gonna argue with you about shit that I have no clue what I'm talking about. This is why we do the privates, man. Because it's everybody in here knows what we're doing. We're in here to gain knowledge, and that's all we can do. Proton? Okay. Yeah, I'll give you one guess, man. Proton. No, sorry, Derek. Dan's no longer with us. He can't hear you. I think I left a few protons in the toilet a minute ago. Devin on Dan over here. Oh. My son would be proud of me. Beat it, nerd. Later, dweeb. Sherman on the Mescaline Network for sure. B Pro. Look at its price. State braided, yeah. There we go. G finally is asking legit questions. Thank you, G. Can you explain something that's not a Google search away? Absolutely, buddy. So who asked that? Gee, how are blockchains connected together? How is one block connected to the next block? No, I don't think ApeCoin is trash. But at these prices, do I think it's going to make you anything more than, you know, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, it's not a bad one, but. You think these pants make my butt look big? The takeaway from this video is to not be a BitBoy butt boy for sure. Do I think Flux will bounce back up? I don't know about that, but I think Flux will steadily grow over the next 5 years and make people a lot of money. Yeah, definitely. There you go, Spence. Oh, Richard. Oh, Richard. Why would anybody burn Kadena coins? That's retarded. Shitty blockchains burn coins. Luna does in a really beautiful way, but the rest suck. I'm Kat. Check out my Kadena videos. I do great breakdowns in every one of them. It's you can't explain it in a few sentences. Somebody in here has to tell me how blockchains. There is no way everybody in here is invested in crypto and not one person can tell me how blockchains are connected. There's just no way that many people are putting their hard-earned dollars into something that they have no idea. That's some shit I would do, guys. You guys are supposed to be fucking better than me. What the fuck? Justin K. Bingo. Through its hash. Right? What is the hash? I got you, light bolts. We're gonna answer that one too right here. It's gonna all be done in one. So Lightbolt says, one thing I don't understand is how does KDA power consumption stay the same when you increase chains? This is the beautiful kicker, man. ETH number one is Poocoin, is number one Poocoin. There you go, full speed. Full speed, there you go. Yes, the transaction hash. No, and don't get me wrong, guys, this shit's way above my head. I honestly, I just have enough of an idea to explain it how I understand it, and then it's enough to get you guys going in the right direction and you guys go ham on it, you know? So if I have two blockchains running side by side, what ends up happening? Like if Ethereum was like, oh, I'm gonna put two chains next to each other, what would happen? What if Ethereum wanted to add another chain? Could they do it? It would fork, you're right. ETH couldn't put two chains next to each other. It would fork it. Sorry. Eating wasn't a good idea. One sec. DAGs are definitely not the future. DAGs are a money grab for retail investors. They get wrecked every time, while the VCs just sit there and they rake in all the rewards. DAGs are beautiful, really smart how they design DAG blockchains. Super smart, very shillable. Retail investors can't run nodes, so the rich people run all the nodes, and they get to keep making all the money while they slowly suck money out of retail investors. So if you had two separate, like if ETH wanted to have two blockchains, what they would have to do is they would have to store the hash from each blockchain, right? So like the hash from block 1 is stored in block 2. So after block 1 is minted, the next block, block 2, will reference the hash from block 1. Block 3 will reference the hash from block 2. So if I were to split or have multiple chains, what happens? You would end up with multiple different currencies. Just like G said, you had ETH and Ethereum Classic, ETH and ETH Classic, when they forked the chain, split in two different directions. right? Because they are not storing the hash from each block. Now, what that would look like is this. Right? And we're going to get to the gas part, so stick with me. All right, so after one block, if my transaction was in block 1 here on the first row, I would need to wait till after this block got printed, right? In order to prevent and guarantee, like Bitcoin, they say you want to wait for 6 blocks, and the blocks are 10 minutes, right? So that's a long time. That's an hour to wait for finality. Kadena blocks are every 30 seconds or 1 minute or something like that. So I send my transaction, it's in block 1, it gets put on the chain. As soon as block 2 prints 30 seconds later, I can guarantee that my transaction is final. Guarantee it can't be reversed. Brilliant. So if you take a look at something like Ethereum right now, say Ethereum wanted to add 10 chains. Because of their architecture, when they're adding 10 chains, they would need to store the hash from every single block in every single chain, which the size of a hash is maybe the size of a tweet, right? It's not that big, but your block can only store so much data. You can only fit so many transactions into one block. And if you're wasting all of that size and your blocks are already filled up at 10 chains, like even if Ethereum went to 10 chains, it just wouldn't be enough. All right. That's the thing. Ethereum could add 10 chains right now and probably 10x in size. But as soon as a few more crypto kitties launched, as soon as the network got busy, it's already so big and so busy, it would just crash again. And they would have to figure out how to do it now without braiding, right? Without braiding the hashes. So what Kadena did is figured out how to, what's called hash braiding. Really, really unique concept. So right now, when Kadena's at 3 chains and 3 hops, when they started with 10 right here. They were at, how did I say that? 2 hops, 3 hashes. So when they had 10 chains, they were only 3 hops away from the, so right now, when they launch with 10 chains, they launch with 3 hashes and 3 hops, meaning they were storing 3 hashes from every chain and every block. And they went from 10 to 20 chains. They increased the amount of chains, but they never increased the amount of data that's getting stored. So they were able to go from 10 to 20 chains, and they were still only 3 hashes and 3 hops away from the farthest chain. So as the network gets busier, the amount of, because you're like by 4 hashes, that means you're basically processing transactions on 4 chains, but in reality, it's every chain. Because of how every chain is always connected to the other one. So right now, when Kadena goes up from, say from 20 to 50 chains, right? When they go up to 20 to 50 chains, I believe they're going to be 4 hashes and 4 hops away, right? So they're able to add another 60 chains or 80 chains, and the difficulty is not going to get more difficult because they can always add more chains. And the amount of data that they're storing in a block, for the most part, stays the same, right? So like for Ethereum to get up to, 98 chains, they would need to store 98 hashes. Like their entire block would just be filled with just hashes from every chain. It would be so inefficient. They would need to mint blocks every 1 second. It would be crazy to think about. Kadena can get up to 98 chains with only 4 hashes. Now when they go to 5 hashes and 5 hops, they can get up to 620 chains. And honestly, they can stay at 4 hashes and 5 hops. Like they could go 4 hashes and 5 hops, not increase the size, or say that backwards. They could stay at 4 hashes and be 5 hops away and get up to 212 chains. It's freaking wild. So when you talk about sharding doesn't work, never has, never will. It's an engineering nightmare, and to do that in a coding language like Solidity is next to impossible. There we go. One more gone. Like I don't have time to teach people that don't want to learn. If Field Blue wants to go, paint lollipops with his Ethereum because he thinks it's valuable, because he drank the Kevin O'Leary Kool-Aid or the, you know, Raul Paul Kool-Aid. I think that these people are just very uneducated, right? Either I'm super dumb, very, very high probability that's the case, or that there is so much money tied up in this industry. And I think Kadena makes a majority of it obvious that it's just not, there's no point in even holding something like, you know, Cardano or Harmony, or, you know, these exchanges are making so much money from retail investors just losing their asses and getting wrecked in all of this garbage and all of these bad projects that are outdated, they're old, they can't scale. HBAR is the biggest wolf in sheep's clothing. ICP, a hot pile of dog turds. Decentraland's cool, it's a game, it's got potential. Elron, don't really know, I've never dove into it, but cool project, 15k TPS. Sandbox, cool. Theta, try using Theta. Tried using Theta to stream out on, oh my gosh, horrible. Tezos just not gonna make it, never was, never gonna happen. Thorchain's got some potential. You know, you got big people like BitBoy and these guys shilling these garbage projects, so it doesn't mean they're not going to go up. But like, as far as being the #1 blockchain in the industry that has potential to separate itself from everything else, let's go. Yeah, this is how you guys, I mean, and if you don't like Kadena, you should be able to tell me everything that I just told you about Kadena, about whatever products you're investing into. I have learned more in the past weeks. Yo, thanks, homie. Earth Inferno, am I saying that right? $4D, let's go, homie. Oh, sorry, Blue. Savai's busy. I hope so, Sam. I hope so, man. ETH won't fall, right? ETH is not like, that's just another thing. People thinking that Ethereum's dead because it can't be used. They're 100% wrong. There's just too many bots that trade it. 98% of trades are made by bots. When Bitcoin gets bullish, the bots don't care what future Ethereum has. The bots are going to trade it. And then they purposely design that burn. The burn was brilliant, right? How many coins of Ethereum do we need to maintain with the current network usage? So we're burning more coins than we're putting out into circulation. And then if we're burning more coins than we're putting out into circulation, we can convince everybody to hodl, aka lock their coins up. We in theory might be able to figure out a way to get Ethereum just to continue to always go up in value, no matter how bearish the market is. It's almost like proof of stake is going to be designed to engineer that the price of Ethereum just goes up and up and up.